So there's something that I haven't really seen specifically identified when it comes to gaslighting, and that is the construct of someone being role oriented or position oriented instead of person oriented. And basically, what that means is we have a model for who people are and what relationships are, and we apply that model out to others, or others apply that model to us. And that model may not necessarily apply. So a victim might have let's say, a childhood friend who actually isn't a friend, right? Doesn't treat you the way a friend should, isn't a good person to you, is selfish and is a taker and a user. But as the victim, you might think, oh, this is my friend, and you treat friends this way, and you want to be a good person to your friend, and we give to our friends, right? So there's all these beliefs associated with the relationship of friendship and the role of the friends within it, without recognizing that this other person isn't showing up as a friend. They aren't showing up as the role. When we become person oriented, we start to recognize the nuances of how people are showing up, and the context of the situation. And so you also get this kind of gaslighting from outside, from others. When you are, let's say, as a victim of abuse, explaining your situation, and you're saying, oh, well, my mother, my father, and then you go on to basically talk about how they weren't a mother or a father. All the other people are hearing, the role oriented people, the position oriented people, they're just hearing mother, they're just hearing father. And it's like they've activated that program that says, this is the relationship, these are the obligations, and therefore you are required to, engage with these people in a specific way, regardless of the fact that they are not acting as parents. And it can be very confusing for victims of abuse. And it's like a form of gaslighting, because you are being reflected, like you're being told that these people are your parents, and your experience is like, these are not parents. This is not what's happening. It's like they're trying to enforce a contract upon you. But the interesting thing is, as a paralegal, a contract goes both ways. Both parties have rights and responsibilities. Both parties, if they are not fulfilling their rights and responsibilities, they're in violation or breach of that contract. And so they have this kind of contractual attitude towards relationships, when in reality, if they truly had a contractual, understanding, they would understand that the parents had already breached the contract, or that the friends had breached the contract. So I see victims who are very confused and trying to figure out their situation. And oh, this is my husband or wife. This is my friend. This is my mom or my dad. I don't like how they're treating me. And then still feeling obligated to respond to them in ways that the behavior doesn't warrant. And so when you get this kind of like on a social level, it can be extremely destabilizing and disorienting. And a lot of victims don't know how to talk about, what they're experiencing in a way that they can communicate to others that what they think is happening is not happening. And therefore their approach is not only not appropriate, but it's coercive, it's undermining, it's re-traumatizing. Anyway, I hope this makes sense, and I'll talk to you next time.